Lord Jesus, we just ask all these blessings in Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Mark?
Join me in the pledge, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. I'm glad the air conditioner's working. If we would review the minutes from July 19th.
I see one correction on the last page. It should be Michelle Thomas instead of Marshall Thomas. Is that correct?
It's Marshall.
Marshall.
M-E-R.
Okay, thank you.
Noted that correction. Is there any other corrections?
Make a motion to approve as amended.
Second. Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, we're moving on to item 4. Consideration of the outdoor recreation grant.
Okey-doke. At the July 19th board meeting, the board asked Summer to research prices on placing a splash pad at various locations, and there were 3 different size of splash pads that we gave you at that point in time. There was basically a 3,000, I believe, 3,500 square foot and 5,000 square foot. And so the price that is in here, just for information on all of these particular sites, is the 5,000 square foot. We have also shown you prices both with recirculating and without recirculating. So that adds, according to the vendor, about $125,000. And our time frame to put the outdoor recreation grant in is August the 25th. We do need to have a site selected so that the outdoor recreation grant project officer can come down and look at it. Our Matt McNair that we've worked with on our past 3 grants has been promoted, so there'll be a new project officer, but I'm certain hopefully that we'll get to know them well and be able to make sure that we get their support from the outdoor recreation grant program. Summer, you want to talk about the 3 that you prepared?
I was going to say we did further research on 3 different locations. As you can see, the locations are Northside, 6th Street, and also the soccer field. Just going over the numbers, I've met with several different people and the engineers. I've talked to them, and these are the prices that are pretty firm. At Northside, we will be looking at a total of $338,000, with our share being $169,000 with the flow-through system. If we went with a recirculating system, the total would be $463,000, with our share being $231,500. I will note with the recirculating, we do need to take in consideration the staffing that it will take to clean the filters, the extra chemicals it will take for the recirculation, and more of a maintenance than the flow-through system will be. If we move on to the 6th Street project, it will be a little more pricey for a total of $420,650, with our share being $210,325. With the recirculation, it'll be $545,650, with our total being $295,650. Move on down to the soccer field. This total will be $316,000, with our total being $158,000. With the recirculation, it'll be $441,000, with a total of $220,500. With the 2 previous sites, with Northside and 6th Street, we will have to add a parking lot to each of them, which does kind of higher the cost. As you can see at Northside, we will have to bring in, where it's the site map Daryl provided us, it is low areas.
And Daryl's bringing that up.
Yes, this is our Northside park right here, and in that area we'll have to bring dirt in, level it up, make sure everything's level so this system and everything built properly. Moving on to the 6th Street That is a completely vacant site. We will have to add in a parking lot, restroom facilities, and of course sidewalks to the actual splash pad area.
And fencing.
And fencing. It is right there by the railroad tracks. We will put a fencing, chain link fence around the entire splash pad there to keep children in and out of harm's way. Onto the soccer field, as you know, the parking lot is already existent. Here we would just build a splash pad, which is a complete turnkey project, and add in sidewalks going from the restrooms and from the parking lot to the splash pad.
And these are just very general site layout kinds of things to just show you all where the existing facilities are and what about 5,000 square feet would cover.
Are there any questions from the board?
So none of these have any shade structures or anything?
Yes,
that's
shade
included?
structures are included in the turkey project. There is about 3 shade structures along with benches underneath the shade structures.
Okay.
Couple of things, I guess, on Sixth Street. What about as far as on parking, since we're redoing Sixth Street, there will be no parking on Sixth Street at all, I mean, it's not
No,
allowed?
yeah, there's no
So
parking.
so we're only down to, only gonna be allowed to have 7 parking
Well,
spots?
that's what I was wondering about that site. You just use half the land available there.
Yes, this is just figures that Kenneth and I, our street superintendent, went out and marked off 55 by 60, which should be, it will fit up to 10 cars right there in that parking lot.
But-
There's 7 on the map.
But but it could have moved back another,
We still have
I
room.
mean, it could move back twice as far. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
y'all kind of, I don't know why the parking lot's so small. I mean, it's like,
Well, at this point, we were already, I mean, we can increase the size of the parking lot and, you know, that just changes the cost.
yeah,
But the maximum grant amount is 250, and that's why the city
parking lot's
share.
so small. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just think, I couldn't get an idea on the layout. You know, it was just a half a block instead of a whole block. But that's fine, but that can be adjusted.
Mariah.
As far as on the restrooms on Sixth Street, 2 separate restrooms, like?
Yes, these are
like
2
these?
separate restrooms with at least 1 stall. It'll be 2 stalls in there is what I calculated in there. 1 handicapped and 1 not handicapped.
2 stalls in this?
Yes.
Yeah, because we have to have handicaps.
And also, on Sixth Street, as far as stories or anything like that, is that gonna be in the same building, or we're gonna
Well,
do
normally,
anything there?
those structures, a lot of them are built with a storage room in between the
That's
two
what I was asking,
bathrooms.
right, yeah.
I mean, that's how they're usually laid out.
And as long as we don't do the recirculating, that's only gonna have to be minimal size.
Yeah,
If
my thoughts on the recirculating is to not do it because of, I guess, the cost of having to do the chemicals.
I do have a question about that. Can it be designed, have we talked to anybody about it being designed that at a later date, the recirculation can be added? Is that possible?
I have not asked that.
You see what I'm saying? That way, if we ever wanted to add it, it wouldn't be a big cost.
I'm sure that anything can be retrofitted. I mean, there's gonna be a spot that water's going in, a spot that the water's coming out.
So they have to be able to filter
It
it
has to come
somewhere.
out their pump somewhere.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would say logically, it would seem like it could be, but we have not asked that question of the vendor at this point.
I guess the only reason I'm saying it, that would save us money now, but if we ever wanted to in the future, make that change, I'm sure it would be possible.
Before we go any farther, I just want to make sure everybody knows that this is not like we're voting tonight to build the splash pad. This is just the first step in trying to get a grant to proceed in the construction of this. So we're a long way from actually putting a shovel in the ground. This is just the first step in getting the money together and trying to get this grant, which we've been pretty good about getting the grants, but it goes before a board in Little Rock, and they look at all the grants being turned in all over the state, and then they pick who can get the money. So it's just so everybody knows what we're doing tonight.
But we do have to choose a site to submit the grant.
Right.
So,
This is first step in the grant process.
so the possibility that it would be, probably, it wouldn't be finished or even maybe even start till after the Sixth Street project is complete? Or is
Well,
that gonna
the
be-
way this grant works, we put it in August 25th. We normally hear if they want us to make a presentation on the grant sometime in October. That's when Summer and I have gone in the past. Then sometime in December or so, we would find out if we got the grant or a portion thereof, because as you know, sometimes last year, for instance, we applied for a $165,000 project, and which would have been 80-some thousand grant, and they gave us about 30,000. So it'll be December before we ever even hear about whether we've got the grant, and then obviously, plans would have to be prepared, have to be reviewed, and then it would be next year's construction season at the absolute earliest.
I'm just, like I said, I'm kind of trying to wait between really Northside and Sixth Street on this, and, I guess, like I said, I'm trying to find as much as I can about Sixth Street as we can, so I just wanna make sure, there's not, how long the construction for Sixth Street is gonna take, how much further will that?
The construction for Sixth Street, as we understand it from the pre-construction conference, will be ongoing this construction season and probably a good bit of next construction season. Unless they just make wonderful progress, which doesn't seem to be happening right now.
I know where Mayor Still said this is like the first, but I would like to, I thought we'd already done this, just go ahead and at least, in my opinion, rule out the soccer field area. And then the discussion would just be between Sixth and North Side. And the reason I say not the soccer field, I just don't think that's adequate for children to have to go all the way out there if they're not in an automobile. If they wanna walk or anything, that's not suitable for kids to be walking down Spring Hill Road. I don't feel.
Splash Pad, age-wise, is designed for what age group of kids?
Toddlers up to 12 years old, in my opinion. Honestly, you could go older.
So the majority of the kids would either be accompanied by an adult?
The majority would be.
Yeah.
Well, and most of the rules at the facilities say that they must be accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
It's not really something, that you send, like any recreational activity, most of the time, there is an adult.
One thing I would like to, we talking about, Steve, one thing about the Sixth Street location is, Sixth Street is gonna have bicycle lanes going back and forth to, all the way from this east to west when we get through. We probably end up striping Sixth Street all the way down with bicycle lanes when we do the other construction. So any other comments from the board?
Well, it's been discussed to do, trails north and south through that area as well, that would tie
Yes.
downtown to that, and then even out to the college, hopefully,
Right. Yeah, it's a long-term plan.
Because they could easily tie into the library and the hub. That's one thing I do like about that choice.
Now you say that, I'm sorry,
Okay.
there's a plan for, taking this project on Sixth Street to the college, connecting it to the college,
well, that's what we had talked about, doing bike trails,
Mhm.
walking trails.
yes.
They connected from the downtown all the way out, and hopefully one day tying into that
Our
rails, trails,
Mhm.
bike path out there, that try to tie it all together, so people could come downtown and park and go from there as far as they wanted to, but
I guess one thing we have not seen, as far as the Sixth Street, I'm not seeing, is, the cost of the property. Who owns the property?
The running club in Hope had bought the property, and we're willing to donate the city with no cost of the property. If we were planning on using it as a trailhead for our trail. At one time. No cost on that. Right,
Well, I like north side because you have a pavilion, existing structures, play structures for the kids as well. And, you have additional parking, and like at Sixth Street, you said even to increase the parking, it's got an additional cost to the city that's not factored in.
very true. Anything else from the board? I'm opening it up to citizens if they would like to speak. If you'd like to speak on this issue, I need you to state your name, and then we'll be ready to listen. So anybody would like to speak on this issue from
Good afternoon. My name is Merchelle Thomas. I guess I'm kind of confused, you know. I mean, we have the Northside Park, as Representative Talley has stated, has adequate parking, a pre-existing pavilion, bathrooms, the ability to take that park up to proper perspective. It has all the pre-existing things. I am making a plea on behalf of the citizens of that side of town. I don't live there, but I am a citizen of this community, a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen of this community. And I can't speak for anyone else, but to me, option A is about the only option. Without, I don't know your budgetary process or anything, I just know that without having to add an additional parking lot on 6th Street and a bathroom, and without making it available for transportation for these children to get there, this is the only option. And I am making a plea on behalf of most of the folks here in this room to please, I shouldn't have to plead, but please take into sincere consideration. It's not just for me, I won't play on it. Take into consideration those children that live in Hopewell Loop, that can take a walk with a parent down to that splash pad and enjoy an evening that they may not be able to experience from the pavilion or the hub that's already up here. It's my plea with you all that you'll consider putting some money on the north side.
Thank you. All right, anyone else?
Good afternoon, Marcia White. I piggyback on what she was saying for the reason of the convenience of the kids. And I can see hope as a hope. I grew up here, and when I come along, no disrespect to Dr. Clark, she was the one that made all of us be like this. And now I get this weird feeling of you, them, they. That's not a good feeling to me. I love it, all kids. I worked at Walmart 15 years, and I sit and I watch, I said, you know, Lord, I'm appreciative for this job. I see the black mama love her kid. I see the white mama love her kid. I see the Mexican mama love her kid. That do my heart good, because me, as a person, my mama being a daycare person back when I was a kid, it was all kind of kids at my mama's house. And so that's just in me to love kids. And I go to the park now that I'm trying to be about the kids at the park. I be out there all kind of times of day and night. And I'm watching people come out the bypass, traveling different places, and they can just see the pretty little stuff out there, and they come through, and I'm out there, and I ask them, you want water or something, and snack on. But I'm just saying, the north side is being more visual than what you realize, I think, than what everybody realized. They are seeing it. And so for a water pad to be there when those parents are traveling, I've saw white families traveling, I've saw Chinese families traveling, I've saw Mexican families traveling, and they stop there to freshen up and let the kids unwind there. I think it would be a drawer for somebody to stay in Hope instead of coming through Hope. Had they had that just a little extra incentive in the north side part. You understand? So it's being visual. I don't know about 6th Street. I would love to have something downtown Hope, because now I'm a part of what they doing down there dancing. I'm enjoying that. Line dancing with my brothers and sisters, because that's what it's about, us coming together as a whole. So again, I plead for a north side water pad. And I'm going to enjoy it, because when I'm in Omaha, they got a limit. But Miss Marsha put her little hand that fit that thing, and the water come on. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Philip Shaw. I stay on the north side, okay? And I plead, along with the ladies here, about the water pads. Okay, my father was Arthur Shaw, Nimrod Shaw, and some of the other brothers, Reverend right here. Back in the days, they put in petition for the swimming pool. It got shut down. Okay, now it's a historical marker. What I'm trying to bring is, the splash pad would be a good idea, even though, because we don't have water. It's not, anybody can come over there. We ain't trying to make it this and that, because everybody comes over there anyway to shoot basketball, ride around, just go back and chill, sit back and chill, and they have a lot of events there. But the splash pad would be a good idea to have over there. Put some kind of water over there, cool the whole situation out, because the earth is getting close to the sun anyway. The sun getting close to the earth, however you want to put it. So just to cool things out, put the water pad over there. Because it's only going to be little children anyway, because you already know you got to have your parent with you. It's not going to be no big guys, teenagers over there misusing it, okay? We enforce that. I enforce that. Me and the large brothers will enforce that. That there won't be no mishandling or the splash pad once it's put up. I understand it's not going to happen today, like you said, man. The shrub ain't going to go on the ground today. But eventually, next year sometime, it would be lovely to have the splash pad over there on the north side. And I'll plead with the ladies as well. Because I stay on the north side, I know. Because I take children all the way over here to the pool. Give me a ride to the pool. Come down the door. Can you take us to the pool? I said, all right, give me a few minutes to put the gas high now. So, last I got those water hose I got to. Y'all get the water out there, we'll get it going. You know what I'm saying? So I thank y'all.
Didn't know that was you behind me, so until you spoke.
My name is Billy Williams, Pastor Billy Williams. I too live on the north side. And just going to be very serious with us. The north side part is no longer a black part. Children don't think like we do. And I'm glad that they don't. Because now they have a time to develop and to interact with all nationalities of people. That's how God intended for us to be in the first place. And I don't know if you've visited the North Side Park lately, but there's a mixture of children there. It's not just black kids going to the North Side no more. There are white kids, there are Mexican, Spanish kids, and there are also some adults, and we thank God for that too. That we at some point in time or another, we have got to come together. Budget, Prescott has it. I think Prescott has size, third size of Hope is. They have a part. They have a water for their children. Good athletic program, academic program. This is what happens when you bring all of us together. Everything gets better. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, in other words, education. So I don't see any reason in it, and I really don't see any reason why the money should be such a big problem. to do it, because it's for our children. When I say our children, I mean all. I mean everybody, including those who live here, those who come through Hope. It's for everybody. And hot days, dirty days, grubby days, a little water are gonna bring a lot of joy and a lot of fun to a lot of people. So I'm in agreement with that water part. We need it for all of us. Not for some of us to enjoy, but for all of us to enjoy. And just sit back and enjoy just being interactive with human beings, made and created in the image and in the likeness of God. That's where we need to be. That's where our heads need to be. You know, we outdated. Young people are going on about their business. I mean, we got all kind of nationalities and seats that's never been filled. Might as well get used to it, because it's not going away. It's going to increase. Thank you for your time.
I also want to thank the whole police department on the north side. They've been coming over, a lot of stuff been going on. They've been coming over there taking care of the community. So I salute y'all and the fire department and the ambulance service. Salute y'all.
All right. Anyone else? All right, back on us, guys. Any other comment from the board? We need to make a decision on the location for the grant, so. The north side has a really good, spots, but, I think one thing we're trying to consider is how close it'll be. Personally, I just think it'd be really good to have it closer to downtown. But like I say, that's why we have a board. That's why we all vote. So, any other comment before we?
Well, I'll say this, I love the Sixth Street idea, but when we're spending taxpayers' dollars and everything with the cost to having to build another pavilion, restrooms and everything, I think spending the taxpayers' dollars, it's more wiser to go to the north side.
Okay.
Well, I want to say that you cannot ever outplan growth. And if we're ever going to move to a better Hope, you know, we took away and we watched it happen. The food. I mean, my first job, when I graduated from college, I supervised the swimming pool. And it was, when I found out that it was covered with gravel and no longer existed, for the lack of whatever, I know the movement is to bring the visibility back downtown, you know, I know that. But I'm speaking for children and for a community that we represent. We have to look beyond just going to the college. And I guess tonight I'm just speaking for the whole. And you have people who are waiting on us to make that decision as a board. And I know that we keep saying it's money, but we need to finally say it's about the children. And I live on the west end of town, near Fair Park. And I do see children walking every day to the swimming pool. You know, it gives me an opportunity to have a conversation with them, but yet why should they walk so far? When we have the ability to make a big impact. And I know that we always say that it's a lack of supervision, and that's what most people say to me. Everything we put over there, they're gonna tear it up. You hear that. But it's time for that to be gone. That's an image that long outlived us. And I was talking to, but we have to be responsible. Because regardless of what we think or what we say, that is always what we're measured by. It's how well we back up what we say we are and what we're going to do together. And I think it's a big move to invest that much in what we really say we are. But I'm along with Tiffany when I say I think it needs to go to our north side.
All right, any other comment? We need a motion and then we'll vote. Somebody wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we, put the splash pad site at the north side
Okay.
So good.
For the grant application?
for the
Okay.
grant application.
Okay, we'll just make a, one thing I want us to all understand, even though we had two sites, and we talked about them and we visited, but we all know that it's gonna be good for the city anywhere it went.
Yes, sir, right,
And I want everybody to know we're all together, even though we
Yes.
talked about Sixth Street,
right.
maybe we'll do something else there later.
There's little petting zoo,
I
a
hope,
petting zoo.
I hope everybody's pleased. Now, like I was saying before, this is the first step, so if we only get $20,000 from the grant cycle, then we're gonna all be coming back here crying. But
No,
that's
we're gonna
just-
come back and pray and put
We
some
just
money
keep
out.
praying.
We're gonna pray and put some money out there.
We'll buy a new water hose with that $20,000. But I do appreciate everybody coming, and everybody, I love to see this much activity and interest in the city. Because that's what it's all about, because I've been to a lot of board meetings when there's nobody out there. So I do appreciate you coming. We're gonna move on to urban hunting. If y'all would like to stay. Oh, we got the resolution? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't turn far enough in
I
here.
love urban hunting, but we might have to have the resolution.
All right, it's resolution whereas Hope, Arkansas seeks to improve the recreation facilities in which to seek grant funding assistance, and whereas in order to obtain the funds necessary to develop and or improve the site for such a recreation area, it's necessary to obtain an outdoor recreation matching grant from the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. And whereas plans for such recreation areas have been prepared and the price therefore has been established, and whereas this governing body understands the grantee and grantor will enter into a binding agreement which obligates both parties to policies and procedures contained within the Outdoor Recreation Matching Grant Application Guide, including but not limited to the following: the park area defined by the project boundary map submitted with the application must remain in outdoor recreation use in perpetuity.
Tongue tied.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Regardless if the property is bought or developed with matching grant funds, and all future overhead utility lines within the project boundary lines must be placed in underground, and the project area must remain open and available for use by the public at all reasonable times of the day and year. Facilities can be reserved for special events, league play, etc., but cannot be reserved, leased, or assigned for exclusive use. And the project area must be kept clean, maintained, and operated in a safe and healthful manner. The City of Hope is well aware and apprised of the above-mentioned project and will provide the local portion of the development cost of the entire project. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Hope, Arkansas, that the city manager is hereby authorized to make application to the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism for assistance to develop recreation facilities for the City of Hope.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Now, we can move on. And I'd love for everybody to stay, but if if anyone wants to leave, they can. And I might go with y'all. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much.
Alright, item 6.
We've had requests as to whether or not this year the board wants to consider allowing urban bow hunting under the same rules and regulations that you all have had in the past years. So we do need direction from the board as to whether or not.
How many were harvested last year?
I think like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Captain, how many permits did we allow as far as people? What was the total? You said 6 people or 6?
No, 6 or 7
Deer
years.
were
Right. How many people actually came and got permits?
I do not know, probably 4 or 5.
Or what have we always allowed? What was the?
There's not a number.
Okay.
Just so long they have
I think she
spot to
counted
hunt.
9
Right.
last year.
Oh, we did not? Okay.
You know, they have to provide where they're gonna hunt and ownership.
They come in, show their hunting license, show their driver's license, show that they have permission from the property owner to hunt on that property. Again, we fill out the permit for them. They carry a copy with them and show it if, for instance, the police officer or someone came up and asked if you have permission and they've got their permit, and then we keep a copy of it.
There is 2 things that we do, is they have to have so much acreage to do it, and they have to shoot from a stand, shooting downward. So it's, they can't
Yeah,
shoot.
there's some pretty specific rules about it in the ordinance, and
So Trevor can't shoot from his backyard.
Not from the patio, unless he's on ladder.
No, just out the window.
I'd make the motion to continue the urban hunt.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I would like to say something on that, because I know there are a lot of deer in the city limits. And I hate to do this, but I think the media, both our media outlets should really promote this. It's something we're allowing to do, because there are a lot of deer, especially on my end, on the east side of town. They're all over Highway 67. So, yeah, they are.
Okay. Move on to, item 7, surplus.
One thing, Daryl had asked that this be declared surplus. It's been removed from, this is a plotter that's been removed from use by the GIS department. And there was a new plotter bought as part of this year's budget, and we'd like to declare this item surplus and authorize the sale or salvage of it as determined.
Okay. Is there a motion that Darryl go ahead and put it on? You gonna just put it online or just sell it?
And the only parts you can get for it are on eBay right now, and they're pretty scarce, so it's almost just to
Get rid of it?
just to get rid of it. It's taking up space.
Take away.
Well, I move that the, plotter be declared surplus.
Second. Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna go into executive session for a few minutes, so y'all are happy to stay, but we'll be gone for a few minutes, so we'll be back.
I brought the other clothes.
Have a new program. It's called, it's lesser than the DRE, but it's,
Good. Them your phone kids?
yeah.
Don't forget it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a new program.